adrenaline rush, throwing fists and kicks, the pain we can't hush. And then they find us, we're the real tough guys, breaking down barriers, we aim for the skies. Into the octagon, like a warrior I stand, slaying blows, taking hits as I command. The art of combat, I'm ready to go. Submission, knockout, that's how I flow. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling with might, a golden octagon. The stage we ignite. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling like a golden octagon. The stage we ignite.
And we are live from the Golden Octagon Studios in Norfolk, Virginia. This is the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast with your hosts, Matt and D. Rose.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Happy Wednesday over here on the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. D. Rose, not gonna lie, feeling good. Try to get Noche UFC tickets, didn't work, but going on vacation the week after Noche UFC for a full 5 days. So I did something with the money that I won this past weekend. What's going on, man? How are you doing? How have you been over the past week, my guy?
Things have been great over here, man. Of course, I didn't do nearly as good as you, but I had a couple bets. Let's just say that, and I was very strong on Bilal Muhammad, and I know we'll get into that, but yeah, weekends went great. I had fun on the live stream the other day with the boys. I was glad we was able to live stream that. We was able to witness history when we witnessed Ben Roethlisberger third down miscues show up on the screen.
Four times.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger making history, having third downs in a UFC fight. So that was pretty entertaining in itself.
Indeed. But we got quite a bit to get into on today's show. A few things we don't have to do, though. On today's show, me and D-Rose going to recap UFC 304 real quick. I guess just takeaways, a few days removed from UFC 304. D-Rose, I'm going to offer you the chance to eat the beans again if you want, but I'm not going to make you. D-Rose ate the beans.
Fish scales again.
D-Rose ate fish scales on Saturday night. But we'll touch on this when it comes back to it, though. We got some UFC news and fight announcements. We've got this weekend's UFC Fight Night in Abu Dhabi. Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Me and D-Rose going to give you our preview and our picks pretty much at the end of the show. And D-Rose got a new segment this week. Did we agree on anything? Absolutely not. But I'm sure we'll talk about it at the end of the show. Me and D-Rose at the end of this, end of the podcast, just like last week, we'll try to bring you guys a plus or minus 100 play to end out the show on the UFC fights this weekend. But let's get into the chat. Shout out the boys. We got Austin in here first. Happy Wednesday, everyone. The weekend's card is something to look forward to. Indeed, it is, Austin. I'm excited, and off the jump, it goes to show if you have the money for a time switch for like a UFC card, UFC will do it. Just this past weekend, England just did not have the funds that Abu Dhabi has, D-Rose.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they had, in Manchester, they had fans sleeping in the crowd because, unfortunately, they don't have the funds to make the UFC change their pay-per-view schedule.
Absolutely crazy, dude, that time. We got Lush Low Main, another Golden Wednesday with the boys. I'm stuck at work, but going to try to make it home in time. I appreciate you stopping by tonight, Lush. We got Riley in here. Happy Wednesday, fam. definitely a decent card to throw some bets on, Austin. We got Daniel Aker in here with the LFG and the Flames. Shout out, Daniel. We got Dave Fish for Days. Let's make some money. Let's make some money. Wow. Let's make some Matt money this weekend, boys. There's something wrong with me. I can't read, but don't do drugs, you know? We got Lens the Rock saying, happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday, Lens. Bro, the live stream is tight, but there is, I don't know if you've ever seen what is it? Workaholics, dude. It's a funny show. You have to watch it, dude.
Yeah, I've not watched it.
Yeah, it's quite a hilarious show. I'm glad Deros came home today. They didn't deserve him. Oh man, Deros. Shout out Deros for coming home. Fight Companion is lit indeed. Someone say Aileen Perez. I don't think anyone said Aileen Perez. We got TGO. What's going on, Sugar Sharp? And we got Riley just laughing. All right. So with that being said, Deros, I guess UFC 304. Real quick. Before I forget, because I will forget, main event was Leon Rocky Edwards and Bilal Muhammad. We knew that, and we knew, I guess, that fight was probably going to decision. I guess I got, cute and predicted Leon Rocky Edwards' third round head kick. Did it happen? No. But I'm just glad it started the third round, because if you want to start off, dude, just start off with this. This past weekend for me was great. This is the parlay that I won this past weekend, $2,000 from $10. So needless to say, I didn't, and crazy enough, I didn't even have a perfect card. Like I was right on a lot of spots. I was wrong on a few spots that ruined my early parlays, being McParkin not going to decision. But yeah, dude, let's just get into it as a whole. Main event, Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad, dude. Leon looked like it was 5 a.m. in England, dude. It just looked like he was not ready to fight. And out of that fight, we got these gems, dude, with Leon just getting swirlied. We got Leon getting dunked in some sweet and sour, dude. Absolutely. Just absolutely nuts memes came out of that. But yeah, Bilal is your 170-pound champion, dude. I feel about it how I felt about Sean Strickland being the champion. Like, okay, like, I guess, but that shit ain't gonna last very long, dude. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I think fucking Shavkat, Jack Della, Ian Gary, dude, any of them are going to beat Bilal Muhammad. So, let them hold on to the strap. Let him cheer it around Chicago for a couple months. Hopefully he fights again at the end of the year and we see him get crushed. That's just my opinion. Anyway, co-main event, Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades. Yeah, me and you both predicted Tom Aspinall, round 1 knockout. And yeah, I don't think I saw many people predict outside of Tom Aspinall, Tom Aspinall round 1, Tom Aspinall knockout in round 1, dude, because that's pretty much how the fight went. And everyone agreed. One of the last ones, dude, that I'm surprised was plus money, dude. Yeah, Google has updated his name now. It is now King Green on Google. But King Green versus Paddy Pimblett, dude. Paddy Pimblett, round 1 sub, dude. Paddy Pimblett put Bobby Green out and was like going to like break his arm with him snoozing, dude. And I'm surprised Paddy Pimblett via finish was plus 250. I mean, dude, that's how Paddy was going to have to win that. He needed to get his fans back on his side. Bobby Green was too cocky going into that fight, acting like he had all the answers for Paddy. And, dude, just at the face-offs, I was like, dude, Paddy is so much bigger than Bobby. This is not going to end good. And, yeah, Paddy Pimblett finished plus 250. That cashed. I think him by sub was maybe plus 300, but, I didn't want to get too cute. He could have head kicked him. Hobo Cop versus Christian Leroy Duncan. This one I stayed as far away from as possible, dude. I wanted no business with this fight. And that's because at the end of the day, I was wrong with it. I had this in no bets. And, yeah, I picked Christian Leroy Duncan to win this fight via decision. And Hobo Cop, put on his fucking singlet and his wrestling shoes, and he came to grapple this past weekend. Arnold Allen, Giga Chikadze, good fight, dude. I think what that came down to was just Giga just not having any hands for the most part. He's got solid kicks, but he's got no boxing defense aside from headbutting the punches. And man, you can't do that. You're going to get knocked out. Yeah, on the prelim, Nathaniel Wood, Daniel Pineda, that fight sucked. Nathaniel Wood via decision. This one, probably one of my dude on the podcast here this past week. I was like, I'm going to bet this because it's plus 500. Why wouldn't I bet it? Well, that's the Paddy Pimblett. This right here, Bruno Brazil by points, man, plus 500. I think I was probably the only person maybe in the earth that picked Bruno Brazil to win that fight, dude. But hey, she did it. One that I was wrong on was Jake Hadley versus Colin Loughran, dude. Jake Hadley looked pretty good up at 135, man. I saw an interview after he said that he was just killing himself to make 125. There's no need for him to try to make it again. So stay up at 135 now. Yeah, and did you see that Paddy Pimblett and Colin Loughran kind of got into it, I guess, throughout the fight week or some shit like that?
I saw they said they got into it on like the Fighter Buzz or something like that. I might have heard.
In short, Paddy was talking about a Cage Warriors fighter that had just fought, and the teammate of the dude that just fought was Colin Loughran's teammate, and he was like, hey, well, he would fucking beat your ass. And then he was like, shut up, you Major Chip Hazard looking motherfucker. Do you know who Major Chip Hazard is? From Small Soldiers.
There you go. Yes. 100%. 100%. I used to have that toy back in the day too.
Yeah, dude, absolutely nuts. Yeah, Muhammad Makayev, Manel Kape, dude. I don't know what Muhammad Makayev was trying to do, take down Manel Kape's pants midway through the fight, dude. That was odd, dude. There's some crazy memes coming out of that too. But Muhammad Makayev wins as we expected him to. Kind of outstruck Manel Kape, but he broke his toe, and he's also Manel Kape. So what can we really say? You know, did really expect him to push the pace or anything? No, I didn't. I expected him to think he won at the end of the fight, which he probably thought that he did. Early prelims, Oban Elliott looked fantastic over Preston Parsons. Modestas Bukauskas gets the third round submission. That one kind of ruined some of my parlays because I think I had him KO 2 or 3, so that kind of ruined a few of them. Sam Patterson round 1 sub as expected, as I think a lot of people said was going to happen. So that worked out. The one that ruined most of my parlays early in the night was Mick Parkin round 1 round 1 KO over Lucas Dretsky, where I had him to win 3 or decision in most of my shits. So that ruined a bunch. But anyway, first fight of the night, Sean Bannon wins via points. Alice Ardeline just looks like, I don't know, a legit soccer mom that, I don't know, dude, that like enjoys getting punched in the face a little bit. I don't understand her style, dude. Yeah, I don't plan on seeing her in the UFC anymore either. Yeah, man, that was UFC 304 from my side. How about your side, man?
Yeah, I'll just talk about this. You talked about most of the fights. I'll just talk about kind of the highlights and kind of what I thought about the card. I thought the main event really ended up playing out really how I thought it would. And a lot of people say that Leon looks sleepy, but I mean, honestly, that's how Leon has looked in most of his fights. Like, he just looks so bored, like as if he just doesn't want to be there, because he's just like, you know what, I'd rather be at the house. And it's not like it's like questioning like whether he's a dog or not, but he literally looks like he would rather be doing something else other than what he's currently doing. And I knew that Bilal would be able to kind of put that pace and pressure on him. And I thought it was a perfect matchup for Bilal. And, Bilal did his thing with the wrestling. Dude, as you said, dunking him on his head, turned him into a chicken nugget, dunking him on turn him into a chicken nugget, dude. I mean, that's
giving him a
but to be fair, I mean, Bilal was outstriking Leon on the feet as well, dude. Like he was hitting him with uppercuts and hooks, and I mean, he was snapping him with the jab. So I mean, Bilal, I thought he had an all around great performance. Of course, outside of that last moment there in the 5th round when he got busted up, Leon did land a nasty elbow and bust him up. But outside of that, I thought Bilal pretty much had a flawless performance and rightfully so won the belt. And I know you were saying as far as the guys coming up next, but man, I don't necessarily think that Shavkat obviously is going to be the toughest matchup.
Save
But
us. Shavkat Rakhmonov.
but if it is, but if it's Ian Gary or if it's Jack Della Maddalena, I mean, I'm not 100% that Bilal's not going to win those fights against those two. I mean, with his pace and pressure in his wrestling, and we've seen, Jack Della Maddalena get, controlled by Basil Hafez for a good portion of time. And Ian Gary, he hasn't really faced a high-level wrestler just yet. So, I think those could be, favorable matchups for Bilal as well moving forward. But I think it sounds like they're going to give Shavkat the title next. That could be a lot closer of a fight. And I'm not going to lie, man, I've bet on Bilal the last 3 fights. He's been an underdog, and he's cashed for me every time. So, even, yes, against Shavkat, is he going to be the underdog, Bilal? Yes. But I'm going to throw money on him because Bilal has cashed for me the last 3 fights. So, I can't. I'm just going to keep riding the hot hand until he eventually burns me. And
I can't hate you for it, dude. I'm just going to bet the over.
Yeah,
because I know he's going to decision. He ain't going to finish anymore.
Good point. Except for Sean Brady, weirdly enough,
dude. That was some
weird.
Abu Dhabi bullshit. Since I heard fucking Sean Brady tell him that if he beat Bilal, that he was going to have like fucking people looking after his fucking family. He was scared to win that fight. That's what I personally think. But hey, we'll leave that for a different day.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. Yeah, but moving on to Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades. Only a minute, so not really too much to talk about. But Tom Aspinall is just doing his thing as he always does, and just landing that jab. And that was not an early stoppage at all. I saw where people were, kind of complaining, saying that was an early stoppage. Not an early stoppage at all. Perfect stoppage there. And Tom Aspinall is the undisputed interim UFC heavyweight champion at this point. But he does have the undisputed title that he was searching for. I would love to see him fight the winner of Stipe and John coming up in November. And Dana had even said that, that would be the plan. Whether they end up doing it or not, I think it's on the very slim chances of that happening. I'm saying less than 10%. But I would love to see the fight if they made it happen. But, dude, Tom Aspinall is such a beast, man. Doesn't even get out of the first round except for against Andrei Arlovsky, out of all people. And then he almost got his head ripped off by Tom Aspinall as well. So Tom Aspinall gets that win and keeps moving. Paddy Pimblett, dude. Paddy Pimblett looked like an absolute beast, man. And honestly, Bobby ended up going for that takedown because Paddy was crushing his leg, and or King Green, I should say. King Green ended up going for the takedown because he was getting his leg crushed and went to catch Paddy's leg. And when he did, he just jumped into Paddy's world. Dude, I'm not going to lie. When Bobby went out due to that triangle and Paddy started cranking on the arm, man, I was definitely wincing there. I was like, yo, because I was trying to temper myself because I knew I was about maybe 2-3 seconds ahead of you. So I didn't want to react. And then, you end up getting the results kind of ruined. But when I definitely saw that arm bend, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope
he's gonna break that shit. He's asleep.
Yeah,
he's asleep.
Yeah,
he's gonna break it.
dude, it looked absolutely gross. But dude, solid win for Paddy. Ranked at the top 15 and looking to keep moving on up, man. So good performance for Paddy. CLD, Gregor Rodriguez. All I know is I'm never betting on Gregor or CLD ever again, dude. Dude, CLD, dude, and I know it's a Hobo Cop fight, but for me personally, I have bet on him against Armor Petrosian. The 2 times I've bet on him because it's the only time he's been a small favorite against was Armor Petrosian and Gregory Rodriguez, and he lost both fights. And he lost to Gregory Rodriguez on short notice because Gregory Rodriguez took this fight about 3 weeks ago or so. So yeah, I am absolutely done betting on CLD. They could tell me whatever. I don't give a damn what John Gooden and Michael Bisping has to say about how good CLD is. I'm not betting on this dude anymore.
Fair.
Yeah, Arnold Allen, Giga, good fight. Arnold Allen definitely lost first round, won the last two. So good performance from him. And then yeah, hated to see it, but yeah, Molly, man, she got the brakes beat off of her, man. Yeah, that was rough for what Bruno did, and just landing those body shots and those knees. And I thought Molly was going to be able to really. I didn't say that it was going to be an easy fight. I thought Molly was really, honestly, going to have to take Bruno Brazil down in order to win the fight, because I did think Bruno Brazil was the better, basically overall striker. And I think Molly has pretty good boxing, but kind of sloppy with it, and she was kind of just rushing in there, just eating those knees to the body. But dude, Molly
was a big difference too.
Dude, Molly is such a tough SOB, because most of those body shots are full. Like, dude, when she landed that body kick and it was flush, it was after Molly got hurt with a knee to the body. And dude, when she almost fell over, just winced over just a little bit, and then all of a sudden you just see her sit up like, fuck no, I'm not quitting. Hell no. So I just love that fight.
And that's after getting kicked in the pussy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So dude, I was so surprised that it was such a thorough ass whooping from Bruno Brazil. Not that if it had been close and Bruno Brazil had won, cool. But yeah, for Bruno Brazil to mollywop for lack of a better term, Molly like that was definitely rough for sure. But those were pretty much my highlights from the card.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. So with that being said, our pick champ from this past week, as you see, Gold back over here this week. We had 5 different ones this past weekend. It was Sean O'Bannon versus Alice Ardeline. I went Sean O'Bannon. D Rose went Alice Ardeline. Obon Elliott versus Preston Parsons. I went Obon Elliott. D Rose went Preston Parsons. We threw Jay Callie, Colin Loughran out. Didn't matter. We had Bruno Brazil versus Molly McCann. I had Bruno Brazil. D Rose had Molly McCann. Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. I went Arnold Allen. D Rose went Giga Chikadze. And the only one I missed, D Rose, I almost hit you with the clean sweep this week. The last 5th and final different pick was Leon and Bilal. I went Leon and you went Bilal. So saved you from the clean sweep. I figure I'll extend the offer one more time. Sure you don't want to eat the beans again, dude?
Not a damn chance. Hell no.
Yeah. All right. So if you would like to see D Rose eat the Bean Boozled for losing the pick champ, you'll have to go back and watch him do that on the live stream from Saturday night. I'm trying to get the fight announcements pulled up, D Rose, and it ain't working for me, dude. Like Instagram's just like frozen. Come on. You can do it.
Oh, come on, IG. We believe in you, IG.
No, we believe in you this week. You got it. Anyway, so with that, what's up?
Well, I was just getting to ask you while that was going. Do you think that Shavkat ends up being next for Bilal?
I think so, dude. I don't see why not. Oh goodness, I'm missing a few. Here we go. I thought I was gonna follow up with a titty KO. Oh no. Right in the hamburger. Oh my goodness. You guys.
This is Jersey Mike's.
I didn't see a moose knuckle in there. Did I see meat curtains in there? I think I saw meat curtains in there. I don't know. The beef curtains. That's all I saw. Oh,
we have the meats.
Yeah. Anyway, so with that being said, let's see if Instagram will work for us now. Indeed, it's going to. So let's get this little banner pulled up. Austin said he likes Jersey Mike. Let's get into our UFC news and fight announcements before this goes off the rails.
I think it might have already. I think we might have already taken the turn.
I like Jersey Mike's. Oh
Yeah,
goodness.
these are some wild ass names. Y'all are
Dude.
some y'all some curious mofos, huh?
Yeah, D Rose, this is just fucking killing me, dude. I don't know what the issue is. It usually maybe if I exit it off of it and bring it back, it'll work for me. Let's see here. Yeah, because that's just it. Like literally can't click anything. Nothing works.
Gosh,
Yeah,
that's
there we
irritating.
go. Yeah, I just went ahead and clicked the X, brought it back. Here we go. We good now.
Do you
Oh, I
think
see Eileen Perez as the first. I get on my Instagram, and the first thing I see is Aileen Perez in an OnlyFans shirt. Why? What is like? I don't understand it, dude. That's from okay. So finding it. Sorry, D Rose, you were going to ask me something.
Yeah, no, I was just going to ask you what was your opinion on the Tom Aspinall call out of John Jones, and if you actually think that fight's going to happen.
I don't think Tom Aspinall is going to have the opportunity to grace the octagon with the greatest of all time. I do not believe that. I think Tom Aspinall is wishing on a star, man. That ain't happening. No shot, dude. No shot. Oh goodness. Look at that.
The Aileen Perez love.
Dude, anyway,
it never stops.
Speaking of butthole, says Daily. Says they. You guys. It will be till next International Fight Week if it did. Yeah, 0 chance that happens. Yeah, so got it pulled up. So let's share. See if we're gonna have any issues sharing today. Our first one is one that I would have to, but can't afford it. Can't afford it, man.
Yeah.
So the main event for UFC 306 September Noche UFC in the Sphere is going to be the Sugar Show. Sean O'Malley taking on the Machine, Merab Dvalishvili. We all knew this fight was coming. We was hoping it was going to be for the Sphere. I was hoping it was in the Sphere so I could go to the Sean O'Malley fight in the Sphere. But yeah, once again, I was hoping to spend like $5,000 for the whole trip, and one ticket is at the very least like $3,000. So yeah, can't do that. 2 tickets would be more than my budget for the whole trip. So yeah, can't do that. Good fight though. I got Sean O'Malley via knockout round 1 or 2. What's your immediate thoughts here, Dearest?
Yeah, as you said, we were kind of, anticipating this matchup the whole time, and just, I guess really trying to figure out the location and all. But yeah, I think it should be a awesome headliner for the card. And I know that Dana basically said that it was supposed to be like a love letter to the Mexican MMA. So yeah, let's get Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley to write the love letter to Mexico. But I guess maybe the Mexican fans really have embraced Merab Dvalishvili after his last few fights, and I think it was after the Cejudo fight or before the Cejudo fight. He was talking about how he had a big Mexican following, and they've been fans of him ever since and everything. So yeah, I guess that was the closest to a Mexican headliner as you can get.
All right. I'm excited for it, dude. Wish I could go to it, but oh well. Co-main event for that will be Grasso versus Shevchenko, number 3. I'm excited for that one. Saw number 2 in person last Noche UFC. Yeah, would have been cool. It is what it is, though. Thoughts on this one?
It's about time that Valentina got some stones and decided to actually take the fight at UFC Noche, because the whole thing was at first that she wasn't really up for taking this fight. in UFC Noche because it was going to be a basically a home crowd disadvantage for her. But at the end of the day, you're not the champion. You're getting the championship fight. At this point, I would say, I mean, she's already had back-to-back chances. She lost and then she had a draw. I would not have been mad had they moved on from this matchup and had Alexa Grasso fight Amanda Fierro or, whoever it may be, next for the title. I would not have been mad about that at all. So glad to see Valentina actually pony up and take the fight at UFC Noche. And hopefully we get this settled once for all, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. What's going on, Naeem? I agree with you because it's like Valentina, it ain't like you're the champion, like it's not going to be on your soil. You're not the champion.
Well, like, and she lost. She lost and she went to a draw. I mean, to me, that's just as bad as losing 2 fights in a row. I mean, you're lucky to be getting the third shot in a row. Take the opportunity.
Yeah, I agree, man. So up next we have also for Noche UFC T-City, Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. They're rebooking this. I was hoping that I wouldn't have to see it. I was happy when the fight got called off. I was like, yes, I ain't got to pick between 2 of my favorites, but they're putting it back together, man. Gotta go Diego Lopez off the jump, dude. Especially that they're going to do this at 145 again. I thought T-City said he wanted to move up to 155, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Thoughts here?
I've heard T-City talk out of both sides of his mouth on that subject. I think whichever. It makes sense what he said, though, because basically he said for the featherweight title, he said basically Max is guaranteed a shot, and then basically Volk will be guaranteed a shot after whatever Max and Ilya do. So he's saying, like, if there's already 2 guaranteed title challengers, why should I wait at 145? But man, if he goes out here with a big performance against a surging prospect like Diego Lopez, I mean, we already saw Ilya Taporia kind of, having his eyes moving around, didn't want to fight Max, talking about moving up to 55 or trying to fight Connor or whatever the case may be. So we've already seen him kind of look to duck the rightful opposition to begin with. So, I mean, if Brian Ortega comes out here and has a big performance against Diego Lopez, or vice versa, if Diego Lopez has a big performance against Brian Ortega, they could very well maybe challenge for the title next after whatever Max and Ilya do. But that should be an awesome fight, man.
Yeah, I agree, man. Can't wait for that one. We've also got Zilla Huber versus Ribovics on the card. 2 fun fighters. Yeah, that'll be a fun one.
Yeah, exactly. I think it should be set up. I mean, Esteban Ribovic is a pretty good striker, but it should be set up for Zell Huber. Zell Huber probably be a pretty decent favorite going into that fight. So I'd say every bit of minus
so tall
or higher. But yes. And knows how to use his range well for the most part. So yeah, he's a good fighter.
Yeah, but who knows, dude? Esteban just now head kicked T-Rex too, so who knows what the odds are going to be going in that fight, dude. Also on the Noche UFC card, I think this will be on the prelims, dude. We've got Irene Aldana versus the dump truck driver herself, Norma Dumont. Yeah, this is set up for Irene, but not the easiest fight for her. I'm a fan of Irene Aldana, but tough fight, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if this is set up for Irene, because honestly, I think Norma's if Norma's the underdog, I think I'm going on I think I'm going with the CDL driver herself. I mean, she's got good wrestling, good boxing. Her boxing isn't as clean as Irene Aldana. If it turns into a striking match, then Irene Aldana is definitely going to win. But Norma Dumont works inside and gets some takedowns, man. I think she can. I think she can do some work. So that should be a closely contested fight.
Yeah, don't forget that uppercut that retired Amanda Nunes, dude. Gotta watch out for that one.
That's the reason she went running for the bleachers. Just
recapping this past weekend, the one that ruined my parlay. That's how I felt after. Yeah, that's me on the ground right there after the McQuarrie fight.
Same.
Sam Patterson did his thing. Modesta Bukalkis, dude, barely beat Marcin Prachnio. Dude, yeah.
Dude, and he got
Oban Elliott,
freaking hurt by a head kick after he had
yeah.
freaking Prachnio rock, dude. I had a straight bet on Bukowskis because I was like, dude, what the hell are you doing?
He was like straight up in
yeah,
all my
man.
parlays, dude. I was so nervous with that fight, dude. Crazy. Anyway, Elliot Makayev defeats Manel Kopp, then gets cut from the UFC. There's the major Chip Hazard once more, getting beat by Jake Hadley. Dude, he just kept walking into jabs.
Hey, so you mentioned it quickly, but what is your opinion on the Makayev and the whole situation with him and basically him walking from the UFC?
Dude. I saw this quite a bit, dude. Everyone's like, well, that's what he gets because he's fucking trying to get offers from the PFL, dude. PFL don't have a 125-pound division, dude. Where's he gonna go? His only option is like what, one or fucking Ryzen, right? That's the only two options.
Yeah, I would have to think it's gonna be something like that where he's not gonna have big offers. And I mean, dude, I don't know if you heard Dana's post-fight press conference after the fights, but dude, he was full of piss and vinegar the other day. Like he was full of piss and vinegar. And one of the big things was he was saying that Makayev was basically like a headache behind the scenes. He said the matchmakers really don't like him, and he's basically been a headache this whole time. And the story about Manel Kopp and Muhammad Makayev, them meeting up, taking the picture, and then Makayev sucker punching him. Dude, Muhammad Makayev admits to doing it. Like he admits, like, yeah, I took a picture and then I sucker punched him afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Like you're not even that. You're not even that highly.
He's 22, dude. 23, dude.
Yeah, he definitely acting like a kid. Definitely acting like a kid for sure. But yeah, just a whole crazy situation to see who could have been potentially the next title challenger. I get cut from the UFC, man. Just a wild change of events.
Indeed. There goes Major Chip Hazard once again. Bruno Brazil, winning me some money this past weekend. Dude, I cannot believe Daniel Pineda won the third round of that fight. Kind of odd. There's a front kick for Arnold Allen. Hobo Cop CLD. Patty, after he broke Bobby's arm and while he was asleep. That's mean. Tom Aspinall round one knockout, and I would hope they'd put the chicken nugget dunk on there, but they didn't. So anyway, our next one we have is Renat Fakhretdinov versus Nursultan Rizaboev. That's going to be UFC 308. What's your thoughts on that, my guy?
I think that's a super tough fight for Nursultan. I mean, if he had trouble with Joaquin Buckley taking him down, then I think Renat Fakhretdinov is probably going to take him down with these and probably submit him, to be honest.
Yeah, and shout out Derek Gouffre, the 199 super sticker. I appreciate you, Derek, helping keep the channel running over here, making sure me and D-Rose showing up, giving you our picks, breaking down fights, giving you our news, all that good shit. Appreciate you, Derek. So with that being said, move on to the next one. A fun one, dude. We got Marina Rodriguez taking on Yasmin Lucindo. That's going to be UFC 307. I wonder if that's going to be in Brazil, man. Or if it's going to be Salt Lake City.
Is that early October? Yeah, if it's early October, it's supposed to be the Salt Lake City card. So but yeah, that's that should be a fun scrap. And Marina Rodriguez is typically not in the most exciting bar burners, but she can get into a scrap. And Yasmin Lucindo, she's a little bulldog too, man. So that should be a good fight.
Yeah, she got a butterfly tattooed on her neck. You don't go against women with neck tattoos, Scary. Here we go. We got Rong Zhu versus Chris Padilla, Vegas 97. You care about that one?
I do not.
Okay, fair enough. One that I do know that you care about is this October 5th, UFC 307. Chris Curtis versus the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland. And what's your thoughts on Chris Curtis leaving Extreme Couture, getting into it with Sean Strickland and no longer friends with Sean Strickland, no longer training at Extreme Couture or any of that, dude? I'm curious to know your thoughts on that whole situation.
Yeah, it's no surprise. I don't know the exact details, but I did see where Chris Curtis had basically said something on Twitter, and I saw where Sean Strickland was like, dude, on Twitter, really? I did see that and it did make me laugh. But just as far as the fight goes, man, that's a hell of a fight. And I think for Kevin Holland, man, if he doesn't use his footwork and he stands in there and stands in the pocket and trades, I don't think that Chris Curtis is going to hurt him and get him out of there. But Chris Curtis is definitely a great boxer, and he works great in the pocket, and I think that's his best avenue to win. So, but that should be a fun fight.
Yeah, I agree. We got Randy Poppy. What's going on, boys? What's going on, Randy? Derek Griffey saying Rodriguez for the dub there versus Lucindo. That should be a fun one, though. That should be a fun one. Up next, we've got Uroš Medic out. So Danny Barlow will now face... Not going to try it. Yeah, so the left hand of God will fight some Russian dude. Nikolay. That's all I got. Yeah, that's coming up. When is that? I saw that. Vegas 95, August 10th. So that'll be next week. Yeah, Ihor Peteria versus Cesar Almeida, dude. What's your thoughts on this? UFC 307 October.
Cesar Almeida, that dude, he's a dangerous kickboxer. His takedown defense ain't the best because I know the Roman Kapilov was able to take him down a bunch. So Ihor is definitely going to look to take him down. But if he does not, dude, I could definitely see Cesar Almeida hurting him.
Yeah, I agree, dude. He crushed Dylan Budka, dude. Crushed my parlays that night. But we'll move on to the next one. Where we have Gavin Tucker is out, so Jack Jenkins will now face Herbert Burns. Go ahead and take out a loan, you guys. Go ahead and put all the money you got on Jack Jenkins. August 17th, man. Yeah, dude, what do you think open odds for this fight's going to be? Minus 1,000 Jack Jenkins?
Yeah, I know you're excited about your boy Herbert Burns being back in action. And he's taking the final short notice, man. Man, I know his gas tank is going to hold up tremendously.
That's UFC 305. Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on to the next one. That's this weekend. So we'll talk about that one when it comes. We've got Clayton Carpenter versus Lucas Rocha added. I don't know who either one of those dudes are. Teresa Bleda is out. Man. Casey O'Neill will now face Luana Santos, UFC 305. What's your thoughts on that?
Hey, Luana Santos, she's been looking dangerous for the last couple fights. And
real dangerous.
Which one is it?
It was real dangerous.
Yep. She's been looking very, very dangerous, very potent. And man, that's a pretty quick turnaround for her too. But that that should be a good fight.
All right, we'll move on to the next one.
Left.
Where we've got Robelis Despain returning against someone that he should knock out in the first round this time. Austin Lane, October 19th. What's your thoughts on this, D-Rose? Does Robelis Despain get back to the winning ways here?
He definitely should here. The most interesting part for me is that Robelis Despain typically towers over his opponents. Dude, I think Austin Lane is going to be one of the very few dudes who are going to be able to match Robelis Despain in size.
Like, he Austin might be Lane like 6'5", but like Robelis is 6'7", dude. He's still going to be bigger,
right? So that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about as far as like because there's not going to be many people who are going to be able to match 6'7". But dude, I would say Austin Lane, even at 6'5", that might be shortchanging him a little bit because that dude is absolutely massive. Like watching, I know Tafa put him to sleep. But dude, watching him standing next to Tafa was he towered over Justin Tafa. So that'd be the most interesting part for me about this fight.
Yeah, fair enough. Hopefully Robelis gets back on his winning ways. We've got Jamie Lynn Horth taking on Ivana Petrovich November 2nd. You care about that one at all?
I do not.
Okay. We'll move on. Where to our last one, dude, where we have this fight being booked, dude.
Why the hell?
I don't know. We got OSP versus Ryan Spann. It's going to be taking place September 7th, UFC Vegas 97 in the Apex for sure. Yeah, but that's the last.
I know you were thrilled with this announcement.
Dude, I was like, holy smokes, dude. We've got Vince St. Preux fighting.
And he's fighting Ryan Spann. Like, how
Dude.
Ryan Spann is not cut from the UFC yet? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, random. Did you see that, Heroes? Kevin Randleman versus Cuban Randleman. That's what it should have been.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Goodness. All right. So with that being said, that's all the UFC news and fight announcements we got. Let's get into our picks and previews for this upcoming weekend. And you guys see that tag right down there, baby. You already know what it is. Yeah. Let's go, Loopy. Let's go, Loopy. I love me some Loopy Godinez, dude. She'll break your heart. She will break your heart, dude. You will be wanting her to do one thing, and she will not do it, dude. But in other times, dude, you'll just love her, man. She'll just go out there and do exactly what you want her to do. We'll find out what happens this weekend, though. Let's get the fights pulled up, man. I already have them pulled up. Let's share the screen with the fights on them, and we'll get into it this weekend. Let's get our odds pulled up and such.
It's a pretty good card this weekend, too.
I agree, man. I do agree. I'm gonna pull my DraftKings up because they got overs and unders live. So I usually give you a FanDuel, but DraftKings was good to me this past weekend, so I'll use them. Today. All right. So with that being said, let's get into it. Our fight night for this weekend is going to be UFC Fight Night Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov. So Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. It's going to be taking place Saturday, August 3rd at noon Eastern time here on the East Coast. So yeah, early fights. D-Rose, you going to be working? You going to miss the fights?
Yes, unfortunately, I am going to be working, so I'm going to try to have it up on my phone. Probably have to end up watching a replay afterwards for most of them, but yeah, I will be working this Saturday.
All right, man. So yeah, Saturday at noon, taking place at the Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi. I think that's we're back at Fight Island this week, D-Rose. They're trying to sweep it under the rug, but hey, we're at Fight Island this week. Anyway, we've got 13 bouts, and dude, check out that poster, man. Just an absolute gem of a poster.
Dude, and the crazy part is the poster on this card is 10 times better than the poster last week. Crazy.
It was just sideways last week. Just weird. Anyway, we've got 13 fights to go over this weekend. Main event, Corey the Sandman Sandhagen taking on Umar Nurmagomedov. We've got Shara Bullet Magomedov taking on Lord Mikhail Olszejek or Hushar Mikhail Olszejek, whichever one it is this week. We've got Marlon Chito Vera taking on Dulce the Guerra, Davison Figueroa, the God of War. We've got El Kukui, Tony Ferguson. He's returning on a 7-fight loss streak. Hasn't won in 5 years. He's returning against someone that is on, I think, a 3-loss streak and hasn't won in 3 years. The Maverick, Michael Chiesa, dude. What a fight we have there. Just buried on the card, dude. Or I guess it'll be the second fight on the main card. We've got the fan favorite, Mackenzie Dern, taking on another one of my personal favorites, Lupita Godinez, dude. We've got the big ass Joel Alvarez for 155, and he's going to be taking on that dog. That is Elvis Brenner, dude. That's going to be a hell of a fight. I believe that's the opening card. That's the opening fight on the card, so that's going to be an absolute banger. We've got Atomic Alonzo Minifield taking on the professional Azamat Mirzakhanov. We've got Muhammad Yahya taking on Kaiwi Fernandez. We've got the Russian or Dagestani volleyball player Shamil Gaziv. He's going to be taking on Lord Kong. Don't bet Mace. Yeah. And then moving on down, we've got Guram Kutataladze taking on Jordan Vucinic. That's the one that we saw a little previewed earlier in the week. So Jordan Vucinic taking this fight on short notice. But wouldn't be the last time, or wouldn't be the first time Guram lost to short notice guy. Anyway, Here we go, D-Rose. We've got the returning staff hole herself, Victoria Dudakova, dude. You know, is she going to fight this time? We'll see. She might have staff. She is going to be taking on Sam Page, Sam Hughes. We've got Jai, the Black Country Banger, Herbert, taking on the Catfish, Rolando Bedoya. I don't know if that's his actual fight name, but that's what I'm calling him. And then our first fight on the card will be, dude, this outstanding citizen that we have here in Cedriquez Dumas taking on, SD the Reaper, Cedriquez Dumas taking on Dennis Tolulin, dude. So, yeah, fun night of fights we have. Good card, dude. Taking place at noon. My whole afternoon will be free. Yeah, dude, and I'm excited. So with that being said, we'll start here, man. First fight of the night. I'm going to do the stats, and then I'm going to run and grab another sody pop real quick. So first fight of the night, we have SD, the Reaper, Cedriquez Dumas. Outstanding citizen. For sure never been to any sort of jail. Dude, this is probably minus 1,000 that he's never been to jail, man. Just looks like an outstanding citizen. Yeah, dude. Anyway, he's going to be taking on Dennis Tolulin. Cedriquez Dumas, 9-2 overall out of his last 5 fights on the Contender Series. Got a guillotine there. Lost his first fight in the UFC against Josh Frim, which not a good look. Won against Cody Brundage by laying on him for 3 rounds because Cody Brundage kept going for guillotines. Pretty much same thing happened in the Abu Azatar fight, the potato power fight, if you will. And Nursultan Rizabov, he got eye poked and then knocked out. I was way in New Jersey watching that one. That was fun. Won some money on that fight. I'm glad they didn't overturn it, though. On the other hand, he's going to be taking on Dennis Tolulin, dude. He's 11-9 overall. Out of his last 5, he's 4 losses, 1 win. His only win is over the bum that is Jamie Pickett, dude. We all know what I think about him. Lost to Aliskop Kizariev, won against Jamie Pickett, lost to Jung Young Park, lost to Hobo Cop, and then lost to Christian Leroy Duncan, dude. So, dude, Dennis Tolulin on a 3-fight losing streak. If he loses here, he's getting cut from the UFC. Currently, odds for this fight, minus 230, Cedriquez Dumas, plus 190 for Dennis Tolulin. I'm going to throw this at you, too. The over-under, D-Rose, is set at 1.5 right now. The over 1.5 minus 175. The under 1.5 plus 135. Cedriquez Dumas, 28 years old, 6'2" and a 79-inch reach, while Dennis Tolulin, 36 years old, 6'1" and a 77-inch reach. D-Rose, I don't think Dennis Tolulin is that good. But Cedriquez Dumas ain't that good either, dude. If you just... If this fight hits the ground, I could see Cedriquez just laying on top, maybe getting a sub, because Dennis Tolulin has probably the worst ground game. I mean, terrible ground game, let's be honest. But I don't know if Cedriquez is going to shoot the takedown, man. So if this is just the striking, just on the feet for fucking 15 minutes, dude, this is much more of a coin flip of a fight. So with that being said, dude, give me the dog and Dennis Tolulin. First fight of the night. I'm going to pass it to you, and then I'm going to go grab a soda real quick. I'm going the dog. Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
No surprise
Honestly, I am surprised just because the way that Dennis Tolulin has been losing. You know, he's been getting finished in a lot of his fights. He's a guy who kind of goes out there. He goes for broke every time, so I think fans can appreciate that. Cedriquez Dumas is not the I guess the way that I look at this fight is that 2 guys that are fighting in the UFC, but neither of them are really UFC level, I would say. Cedriquez Dumas, I would say that he's the tougher of the 2. He's got decent wrestling, okay boxing. Dennis Tolulin, I mean, he's a little bit more of a brawler, and as Matt said, you know, Tolulin has just about no any type of takedown defense or submission defense or anything like that. So I think Cedriquez Dumas goes in here, and I think there's a very good chance that a bet that I might take it for this fight to start round 2. I don't think Cedriquez has the finishing ability like that, like a Gregory Rodriguez and those types of guys, but I do think that Dennis Leland does get touched up a little bit too much. So, yeah, I think there's a very good chance that Cedric Dumas wins. This is no confidence in this pick whatsoever. So, and honestly, if there's enough other picks, I do not want to pick this in the pick champ, but I will pick Cedric Dumas.
All right. So me and D-Rose split on that. I'm on Dennis Leland, D-Rose on Cedric Dumas. My personal favorite player for this card, I like the over, D-Rose. Over 1.5 minus 175. I think that's a solid parlay piece. I think this probably goes to decision, but that's just me. Let's see. I'm so behind on comments, you guys. I apologize. Yeah, I'm just gonna start right here. Keep asking, she'll do it. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but don't want to go back too much further than that. I got PFL ad when I joined the stream. Really? That's odd. I don't even talk about PFL. Luffy versus third. Exactly. But Pirate, I think, is versus L. It's possible. Tony, please retire. Victoria due to Kobo. Good to see Cedric was made veil. That's fucked up. Dude, but I think he was arrested like a couple months before like his last fight, so like they didn't want to let him out of the country or some shit. So fucking that's what it was like in the last fight, why he couldn't fucking get the country out of the country. Yeah, but we got a new one here. So me and D-Rose split on the first fight of the night. We'll move on to the next one, being the Black Country Banger, Jai Herbert, taking on. I called him the Catfish, D-Rose, and the reason why I called him the Catfish is, pretty self-explanatory, but I'll get into it right here. So, Rolando Bedoya is actually the Machine, but also the Catfish. Yeah, so he's 14-3 overall, and he came into the UFC right here. Fought Chaos Williams, dude. I know me and you both bet Chaos Williams against a UFC newcomer on a few days' notice. I remember my exact words being, okay, you want to come to the UFC, I get it. You want to step in short notice, I get it. But Chaos Williams is not the one that you want to step in on short notice with. And, dude, he looked very good in that fight, dude, and tricked all of us because he was like plus 350 dog, plus 300 dog in this Chaos Williams fight. And his next fight was Song Kanan, dude. So he is this huge favorite against old wash Song Kanan, dude. And just comes out there and just lays an egg, man. Just gets beat up for all 3 rounds. Did nothing. So that's why I call him the Catfish. Looked fantastic against Chaos Williams, and then just looked like absolute dog shit against Song Kanan. However, there's something about this fight that we will talk about. He's going to be taking on the Black Country Banker, Jai Herbert, 12-5 overall, alternating wins and losses for the most part. Got a draw in there as well against Ludovic Klein, which is kind of surprising. But lost a decision to Forrest Zam a year ago, draw against Ludovic Klein a year and 4 months ago. Kyle Nelson, this decision win, which, looking pretty good from 2 years ago, but, Kyle Nelson fights at 145, got snoozed by Ilya, who doesn't know? And Kama Worthy knocked him out 2 years ago. I think put Kama Worthy out of the UFC after that. He was kind of like Mark Diakese. Yeah. So with that being said, odds for this fight, minus 142 for Jai Herbert and plus 120 for Rolando Bedoya, dude. So Rolando Bedoya back to being the dog this week. Jai Herbert, 36 years old, 6'1" and a 77-inch reach, while Rolando Bedoya, almost 10 years younger, dude, 27 years old, 5'11" and a 75.2 inch reach. I don't know why it's that weird. Yeah, dude. The thing about these two fights was they were up at 170 pounds, man. This one is going to be taking place at 155 pounds. So for the second fight in a row, dude, give me the dog. He is moving down from 170, 10 years younger. I'm hoping while everyone underestimates him this week, again, the kid, looks good down at 155 and comes out and beats the shit out of Jai Herbert. Dude, let's not pretend like Jai Herbert's a world beater. He's a 37-year-old journeyman at this point that, wins some, loses some for the most part. So, yeah, give me the kid. Rolando, the catfish, the machine, Rolando Bedoya to win this fight. Let's go by 3rd round knockout. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, I think this is I think it's a good, I guess, kind of like a refreshing step for Rolando Bedoya. I know having 2 fights up at 170, he did look a little doughy being up at 170. So seeing him make this jump to 155, I'm curious to see if he's going to be, a little bit more muscled out, probably got a little bit more strength behind him instead of coming in a little bit more flubby. And being in a little bit better shape here. We know Jai Herbert, the potent striker that he is, and people always hold up the Elia performance and said, look how great he looked in that fight. The one that I always hold against him, dude, is Francisco Trinaldo, because I remember he was literally served up to like, hey, you beat the piss out of Francisco Trinaldo, and you'll be ranked in the top 15. Dude, Francisco Trinaldo beat the dog piss out of him from one side of that octagon to the other until like Dan Hardy had to literally yell in there.
Got Dan Hardy fired from his job.
Yeah, literally, Jai Herbert got Dan Hardy fired because he was so concerned. Dan Hardy was for Jai Herbert's safety against Francisco Trinaldo, and that's just an image that I cannot get out of my head. Plus, even if you go back in his last fight against Fares Ziam had pretty good success taking Jai Herbert down and was able to outstrike him as well. And I think Rolando Bedoya, pretty good striker, slick setups, can use a little bit of wrestling here, be the heavier guy coming down from 170. And I think it'll probably go down to a decision, but give me I'm also going with Rolando Bedoya here.
All right. I don't know if this may ease the way you're feeling or not, D-Rose, but check out Rolando Bedoya this week.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he looks
up down at 155, dude.
Yeah, exactly what I was about to say. He kind of looks like Adrian Yanez a little bit.
A little bit, dude. A little bit. And I don't think a lot of people know. I don't have the best feeling about these Peruvian guys, but Rolando Bedoya trains at Chuta Box with Charles Oliveira. So, I feel better about him training there opposed to other Peruvians in the UFC just, trying to do what they do. I feel like they just get taken down and they got nothing. But Rolando Bedoya looks pretty good training with Charles Oliveira and his team. So we'll see how he looks down at 155. Yeah. As Armin Yanez. Ray said that's Armin Yanez.
He definitely had the Armin haircut. That's for sure.
Yeah. So let's see here. Moving on to the next one where we have the staff hole taking on the Sandpage. Okay. So, man, D-Rose, we may have found our plus 100 of the week, Rolando Bedoya money line, but hey, we'll see. Next fight we do have Victoria Dudakova taking on Sam Hughes. Who doesn't love theirself some Sam Page? Victoria Dudakova is 8-0. However, one win on the Contender Series, a disgusting arm break for Estela Nunes. Don't watch that. That was gross. And then the Jin Fry decision win, D-Rose, a win in that 3rd round. Dude, Jin Fry was winning. Victoria was gassed. Close fight, man. Closer than I would have liked to seen for Jin Fry and Victoria Dudakova. Sam Hughes is 8-6 overall. Not the best record. Win 2 years ago over Estela Nunes. Win over Elise Reed. TKO from Mount. Lost to Pierre Rodriguez. Win over Jacqueline Amorim. Basically the same fight with a jiu-jitsu fighter. And then lost to Yasmin Haregi. But, makes sense. Yasmin Haregi's really good. Currently odds for this fight, D-Rose, minus 170 Victoria Dudakova. Sam Hughes, plus 142. Over under for this fight is 2.5. Minus 445 for the over. Plus 310 for the under. Victoria Dudikova, the staff hole, is 25 years old, 5'5" and a 67-inch reach, while Sam Hughes, 32 years old, 5'5" and a 64.5-inch reach. Yeah. Victoria's a gasser, man. Not even going to pretend like she's not. Yeah, give me Victoria to win the first round, maybe some of the second, and then Sam Page should take over, dude. Just do damage at the end of the second, win the second, and clearly win the third. Maybe even get the finish in the third. So give me Sam Page 3 or decision prop when that opens up. But give me Sam Page 2, probably win this fight via decision. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, this one is it's a tough fight to call.
3 dogs in a row, baby. Dogs.
Yeah, as you said, Victoria Dudikova.
Fucking last week, man. So I should probably say this. After winning fucking last week, I have no confidence this week at all. My confidence is gone, dude. It's like, oh, well, that'll never happen again. So, dude, I don't know why I'm so confident on a lot of dogs this week. But yeah.
It's because you want to repeat it another week, just like last week.
But I didn't even have any. I had like 2 dogs last week. I'm on 3 dogs in a row to start off the night, dude. Like the first 3 fights, dogs, dude. So I don't know. We'll see.
It is interesting, that's for sure. But no, I think Sam Page, you know, she's super tough, super durable. She's going to be in your face. I think Victoria Dudikova, I just think her wrestling style is something that I think could potentially give Sam Hughes the fits. So I'm going to go Victoria Dudikova, and I think it's Victoria Dudikova by decision. So let's go Victoria Dudikova here.
All right, I am on Hughes. D Rose on staff hole. Is this fight going to happen, D Rose? That's a question.
That's a great question. I wouldn't be mad if it didn't happen, but yeah, who knows?
All right. We'll move on to the next fight, which is going to be another fun one, dude. We've got Guram Kutateladze taking on Jordan Vucinic or Vucin. Yeah, Jordan Vucinic, the epidemic. Makes sense. So the Georgian Viking, Guram Kutateladze, is 12-4 overall, but on a 2-loss streak. But in the UFC, he has a win over Mateusz Gamrot 3 years ago, a loss to Demirjas Magulov 2 years ago, and then 1 year ago got knocked out by Elvis Brenner. So he's fighting like 1 time a year, dude, and already 32, man. Not the youngest dude. So I don't know what to really think of Guram at this point, man. He's going to be taking on the UFC newcomer that is basically, dude, I don't know if you could get any more tattoos on him. Like, he's like a couple tattoos away from a Drew Dober knockout at this point, man. It's not looking good.
Crazy.
Anyway, dude, and I've seen his Instagram, dude. It's like he even has face tattoos now. It's like, dude, your body is basically like ink at this point. Anyway, but hey, and it's just all black. Like there's no, I don't even see any cool pictures.
No separation or anything.
Dude, yeah, like who are you trying to be? Machine Gun Kelly? What are you doing? Dumbass. All right. Anyway, let's get back to this fight. Odds for this fight are currently Guram -225. Your favorite Jordan Vucinic is +185. The dog over under is 2.5. The over 2.5 -180. The under 2.5 +140. Guram, 32 years old, 5'11", 72-inch reach. Trains out of All Stars. So Hamzat's training, or was Hamzat's training team. Alexander Gustafsson, all of those guys. Jordan Vucinic coming from Cage Warriors, D Rose, and he fought 6 days ago, weighing 157.8 pounds, but usually fights down at 145. I do want to let you know that. That's what I found while looking into him. He is 28 years old, 5'9", and a 72-inch reach. Yeah, D Rose, I gotta go Guram probably to win this fight, maybe even by like first round knockout, man. Cage Warriors, 145-pound champion. You know how I feel about Cage Warriors, dude. Yeah, give me Guram to come out here, take this dude down, and probably elbow him, dude. Ground and pound, knockout, first round. Which way are you going here, man? I think you're muted, my guy.
Oh yeah, I am. Sorry about that. Had a little sneeze. I thought was gonna come up there, but no, I think Guron's going to be the bigger guy, as you said. I don't forgot his opponent's name now.
Jordan
Vucenic.
Vucenic.
Yeah, he's coming up from 45 as well. So again, I mean, and Elvis Brenner also took the fight against Guram Kutateladze on short notice and came in and put on what was my fight of the year last year and ended up coming.
But he also fights at 155. So
yeah, I mean, but honestly, and we'll get into it here in a little bit, but you could look at Elvis Brenner, and honestly, he's a little bit of a doughier dude to be at 155. He looks like he could potentially make 145. So I wouldn't necessarily be surprised, but I think Guram having a year off, maybe working on some injuries, but as well, just kind of, just staying in the lab and getting better. Yeah, I think, the time off would be something that'd be good for him. Let the chin rest a little bit. I think he'll come out here and put on a good performance. I say maybe a late ground and pound stoppage or a decision to where he's pretty much controlling the fight with the wrestling.
Yeah, I just see Cage Warriors and I'm like, he's gonna get taken out and finish in the first round. I don't know why, dude. I just automatically think that. They just wrestling is just not the best in the world, man. But who if they fall to that point? Other European wrestlers, English wrestlers, like until I see it, I'm hesitant to believe it. So we'll move on to D-Rose. This may be my favorite fight to target on this entire card, man. And it is Shamil Gaziev versus Don't Bet Dontel Lord Kong Mays. Don't forget it. Every time he pops up, we're going to say it. Look at him. He's asleep in the fucking picture there, dude. He's asleep all the time. It doesn't make sense. Dontel Mays is that guy in the fucking PFL that got head kicked because he was just walking in there with his hands down. That's what it seems like. That's how Dontel Mays fights, dude. It's ridiculous.
He fights like Leon Edwards.
Yeah, but exactly. Before I get too worked up, let's get into it. So the Russian volleyball player Shamil Gaziev, 12-1 overall, was crushing everybody, dude. Contender series, rear naked choke. Martin Boudet, knockout. And then lost to Jairzinho Rosenstruck. And I seen this coming, dude. I think I'm 99% sure I picked Jairzinho Rosenstruck to win this fight, dude. Because the issue with this dude is,
that's why I remember.
Yeah, the issue with this dude is he goes all out, man. He gives everything he has while he's in there. So at 6 minutes, dude, he is gassed. He don't have anything left, and it's going to take him like in his octagon interview. You're not going to be able to hear him because he's going to be still trying to catch his breath from a fight that happened, 2 or 3 minutes ago at that point. The dude has no cardio. But on the other hand, does this guy that's asleep in the picture that's being taken of him have any cardio? Yeah, he does. But guess what? He don't do a fucking thing. He's asleep in the octagon. Let's go over Lord Kong. This one, fucking bullshit. The reason why, the start of my hate for Lord Kong right here. Hamdi Abdullah Wahab. Then he lost to Augusto Sakai. Knocked out Andre Arlovsky. Lost to Rodrigo Nascimento. And then a decision win against Caio Machado. Currently odds for this fight, D-Rose. Are you ready for this? Minus 238 for Shamil Gaziev, plus 195 for Lord Kong, Dontel Mays. Here's where things get interesting, D-Rose. The over-under at this fight, if I was to ask you where this was at, you probably already know where it's at, but if I was to ask you, where would you think this would be set at after knowing Shamil Gaziev and this is heavyweight and, just what usually happens?
Yeah. I mean, I would have thought, as far as bedline wise, I would have thought that Gaziev would have been the favorite, but I would.
No. Where do you think the over under is at? 1.5,
Oh,
2.5?
I mean, with the way Gaziev looked in his last fight, I would have to say 1.5.
Dude, the over under on this fight is it 2.5?
Oh,
The over 2.5 is plus 124. The under 2.5 is minus 160, dude. I don't know if I'll have a parlay made that I don't have this under 2.5 in, dude. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is just one of those spots where I'm like, hey, you fucking idiots. Do y'all know y'all have this set at 2.5? But hey, I'm just going to bet it. It is what it is. So let y'all know as well that this is at 2.5, and this should not be at 2.5. I'm surprised the under is only 160, D-Rose. I would guess this would be, they would have mashed it and they would have moved it already. But yeah, give me Shamil Gaziev round one submission, D-Rose. Yeah, which way you going here? Hold on. Sorry, I didn't do the stats. Shamil, 34 years old, 6'4", 78-inch reach, while Lord Kong, 32 years old, 6'6" and 81-inch reach. So Lord Kong says he's going to be the bigger guy, but we'll see. We'll see in there when they face off.
Yeah, not an interesting fight. This will probably be your PBF of the night. Yeah, just to let you boys know, if y'all need to go get some dinner or something like that, or bathroom break, anything like that, do it during this fight. And yeah, Gaziev coming off that Rosenstrike fight. I mean, to be fair, he did lose against Rosenstrike. It was just brutal in the way, like watching him literally be like, just get tired and like, no, Lord Bong. Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, but seeing Gaziev literally just like, you know what? I'm good. I'm not gonna come out for the what was it, 4th round or 5th round? Like he was like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, I mean, Dontel Mays is not the best fighter either, but he is a pretty good athlete, and if he's able to keep Gaziev kind of chasing instead of letting Gaziev, kind of cut off the angles, he could make the Dontel Mays could make the fight tough for Shamil Gaziev. Again, unfortunately, I think this would be a boring fight, but I think Gaziev ends up. Honestly, I just think he ends up riding a. I don't want to say a decision. I think he'll end up getting a boring, but they'll end up getting caught in some wild scramble on wrestling, and Gaziev will get a rear naked choke or something of the sort like that. So I say a late submission for Gaziev there.
God, I hope so, dude. If this starts going to late second round, dude, I'm gonna be pissed off, because if this gets out of the first round, this is probably going to decision, dude. I'm just gonna need Shamil to go in there, do what he does, dude. It's fucking shitty ass Dontel Mays. Let's not pretend like, dude. If Shamil goes in there and fall like he did against Martin Buday, he's gonna get Dontel out of there in the first round. That's just what I need him to do. Go in there, do that, and you'll win. That's all we need. That's all we need, you big Russian volleyball player. Anyway, up next, we have the UAE Warrior in Muhammad Yahya taking on Kaiwi Fernandez. D-Rose, you remember Muhammad Yahya?
I don't know why I'm not remembering him off the top of my head.
He was the guy that fought Trevor Peek last Abu Dhabi card when Trevor Peek wrestled him. Yeah. So Muhammad Yahya is 12-4 overall. Last loss, Trevor Peek 9 months ago, where decision loss against Trevor Peek. Lost me money. I'm glad Trevor Peek won, but I was hoping Trevor Peek got the finish. But Trevor Peek's not known for his wrestling, dude. So if he's able to control you, dude, that's not the best look in the world. Before that, who cares? Kaiwi Fernandez came into the UFC super short notice, dude, and lost a split decision win to Mark DeCasey. So, dude, we know how good D1 DeCasey is. I picked them in that fight, but dude, that was a close ass fucking fight. Came from LFA before that. Currently odds for this fight, plus 310 for Muhammad Yahya. Kaiwi Fernandez is minus 395. Over under D-Rose set at 1.5 here. Over is minus 160. Under is plus 124. Muhammad Yahya, 30 years old, 5'9", 73-inch reach, while Kali Fernandez is 29 years old, 5'9", and a 73-inch reach. Yeah, D-Rose, if Trevor Peek's going out there taking you down, controlling you, dude, what is the Brazilian black belt that, it fought Mark DeCasey really, really close and well, dude? What is this dude going to do to you? Give me the Brazilian black belt to come out here and get a first-round submission over Muhammad Yahya. Which way you going here, man?
Yeah, I think Muhammad Yahya. Now that you mention it, I do remember. And he ate some pretty big shots from Trevor Peek too. So yeah, Muhammad Yahya, he's tough. But as you said, getting wrestled by Trevor Peek, I would have to think Fernandez would be able to do the same thing here. I'm going to say Fernandez by decision. I think Yahya will be able to defend the position to keep himself alive. But I think Fernandez pretty much dominates the fight and gets a decision win.
Fair enough. D-Rose, we only have two different fights so far, man. It's kind of surprising after all the different ones we've been having, dude. Over the past few weeks,
we got plenty more on the card though.
Yeah,
we're still good. Yeah, I got a feeling we'll disagree on some up here.
Yeah. Over the past few weeks though, like we've been having like 6 different actually on the card. I've been surprised that we've been so split on a few of these, but yeah, let's get into it, dude. Where we have the next fight being a fun one, dude. We have Atomic Alonzo Minifield taking on the professional Azamat Murzakanov, dude. And dude, what year was this picture of Azamat taken, man? Because 1, that ain't how he looks now, and 2, the quality looks like about 360, dude, and that's like early 2000s picture quality, man. Yeah, anyway, Atomic Alonzo Minifield, 15-4-1, last loss to Carlos Ulberg in about 10 seconds after being just ooga booga'd him and got check left hook. Yeah, Dustin Jacoby unanimous decision win. Jimmy Crute triangle draw to Jimmy Crute right before that, and then Misha Serkinov knocked him out via hooks. So Alonzo Minifield, out of his last 5 fights, he is technically 3-1-1, but let's just say he's 4-1 out of his last 5 fights. 15-4-1 overall, though. And Azamat Murzakanov, he's undefeated though. 13-0. Dustin Jacoby decision win. Devin Clark knockout. Tafon Chukli flying knee knockout. And on the contender series, D-Rose, I have a confession to make. You know how we get fighters mixed up all the time. I get Azamat Murzakanov mixed up with none other than Albert Duraev, man. I don't know what it is. Their fights just leak together for me. So I just get confused by them. So I really had to go back. Dude, I was like, what? This dude's undefeated? Because I thought it was Albert Duraev, and it's not.
He's like, he got beat by Buckley.
Right? Currently odds for this fight are plus 170 for Atomic Alonzo Minifield. I'm sorry. There you go. It's just talking about him. Azamat Murzakanov is minus 205. The over-under for this D-Rose is set at 1.5. Over is minus 160. The under is plus 124. Atomic Alonzo Minifield, 36 years old, 6 foot, and a 76-inch reach. It says Azamat's 35 years old, but he's probably 45 years old, 55 years old. He ain't 35, dude. He ain't younger than Atomic Alonzo Minifield, I'll tell you that. He is 5'10" and a 71.5-inch reach. Yeah, man. This scares me, D-Rose, right here. When you're able to name the weeks and the days that you got knocked out against Carlos Ulberg, I don't think you have enough time to recover, man. And, dude, he's knocking out Devin Clark. Not hard to knock out Devin Clark, but knocking out Tafon Chukli, dude, in the 3rd round. And see, D-Rose, that's the thing, dude. It's like he'll come out here. He'll look all right in the 1st. He'll kind of start to fade at the end of the 2nd and kind of look like shit in the 3rd until he knocks whoever he's fighting out. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's like he's got he looks so tired, but has this unbelievable power still. So, yeah, man, give me Azamat Murzakanov to win this fight. Let's say via decision. Azamat Murzakanov via decision. D-Rose falling asleep on me.
Nah, we good, baby.
All right.
No, we good. We good, brother. We good. But no, I think Alonzo Menifield, man, he's just a dude who just ends up running into big shots time and time again by big punchers. Stupid. Honestly, Alonzo Menifield ran into big shots against Carlos Ulberg. Even if you go back to the OSP fight when he first lost that fight back in the day as well, dude, he got thumped up, just barging forward, and OSP just backed up and set him up with a big shot. Azamat's got good boxing, good wrestling defense to a certain extent. His wrestling offense isn't the best, even with his you would think with his Russian background, you would think he would have some good offensive wrestling. But yeah, dude's a good striker, man. Good boxing. I think he's the cleaner striker between him and Menifield. And honestly, I think as long as Azamat surprised me in that Dustin Jacoby fight because he looked really good with the striking. And he ended up being the better striker of the two in those exchanges and was the better counter striker. And he hurt Dustin Jacoby multiple times. I think he can hurt Alonzo Menifield. I guess the only thing will Azamat kind of be a little bit more reserved if he hurts Alonzo Menifield, because Azamat does tend to gas a little bit as the fight goes. So I do think that I think Azamat ends up getting the knockout. But if this fight goes a little bit later, that is something that I think Alonzo Menifield can maybe take over as the fight goes. But I think Alonzo Menifield gets clipped too much, and I think Azamat gets a knockout.
All right. Me and you both on the professional Azamat Murzakanov. We'll move on to the next one. El Phenomeno, Joel Alvarez taking on the dog. That is Elvis Brenner, dude. Is this going to be the first fight on the main card? I believe it is, right?
I believe so.
Main event prelims. One of the two. Joel Alvarez, 23 overall. His only loss out of his last 5 fights is Arman Saryukian, TKO ground and pound. But he did headbutt Mark DeCasey before. Darce choking him. Thiago Moises knocked him out 2 years, 8 months ago. And Alexander Yakovlev, who cares? Joe Duffy 4 years ago, once again, who cares? Elvis Brenner came into the UFC, split decision win over Zabiro Tukugov, knocked out. Dude, what? I don't remember this fight at all. I thought fucking Guram was his fucking first fight in the UFC. Surprising to me. I don't know. Anyway, knocked out Guram a year ago. Then killed Kyron Kurchusky in the middle of the octagon. And then last loss to Miktabek Orabai, dude. That was a good fight. Good fight. Currently odds for this fight, minus 198 Joel Alvarez, plus 164 for Elvis Brenner. The over-under, D-Rose, funny enough, also set at 1.5. The over 1.5, minus 180. The under 1.5, plus 140. I don't mind that over 1.5 there. Joel Alvarez, 31 years old, 6'3" and 77-inch reach for 155 pounds. So we got to see if Joel Alvarez makes weight. But Elvis Brenner, 26 years old, 5'10" and a 72-inch reach. I think me and you are both on the same page here. Me and you kind of both like Elvis Brenner late props. You know, Elvis Brenner 2-3 KO. I don't mind that. I don't know if FanDuel has them open yet, but it looks like DraftKings has some kind of prop. So I'll give you this one. Elvis Brenner and over around 1.5 D-Rose is plus 200. If I was betting on DraftKings, that's probably what I would be going in, or I'd be just going the over, dude. I think this does go a little bit longer. Give me Elvis Brenner late finish over Joel Alvarez, probably late knockout. How about you, man?
Yeah, I think Elvis Brenner, become one of my favorite fighters. The dude's got that dog in him, man. He's got that mentality, who's always willing to go in there, get into a scrap. Joel Alvarez, dude, is absolutely massive for the weight class. What is he, 6'3", 6'4"? So, and he's going to have about a 5.5 inch or about 4.5, about 5 inch reach advantage over Elvis Brenner here too. I think Elvis Brenner is going to have a little bit. Yeah, I think Elvis Brenner is going to have a little bit of trouble getting inside. But man, what really impressed me with him was in that last fight against Miktabek. Yeah, I mean, we know how good of a wrestler Miktabek is. And man, he took down Medic at 170 with these. And man, Elvis Brenner made Miktovic work for every single one of those takedowns. And dude, there in that third round, like he had Miktovic on the ropes reeling, and all Miktovic was trying to do was survive in that fight. I think Elvis Brenner's got a good gas tank. And I think for Joe Alvarez, when the dude's kind of a weight bully who not a lot of times makes weight. And if you look at his competition, I mean, outside of he's fought Arman Sarukian, but he got absolutely smashed by Arman. And he fought Thiago Moises. That was his best performance, but he missed weight in that fight as well. Mark Diakase, he had that.
Too.
Yeah, it was pretty egregious the way he ended up missing weight. And then Mark Diakase, as you said, he got the headbutt against Mark Diakase before he set up the submission. I think Joel Alvarez is good, but I think he's a front runner. I think you put a little bit of pressure on him, man. I think he can tend to fold. So I do like Elvis Brenner here. I love that shoot the box style, and I think Elvis Brenner kind of has that mentality to go along with it. So yeah, I think Elvis Brenner starts the fight off a little bit slower, but works himself back into the fight. I think maybe, as you said, maybe a late stoppage, maybe a late ground and pound, or worst case scenario. I think this turns into a really good fight, a scrap. But maybe Elvis Brenner getting some key takedowns and key moments to seal the rounds and win the fight.
All right. Me and D-Rose both on Elvis Brenner, late finish.
Pretty big dog too.
Yeah. That's another option. So far, 2 options that we got, D-Rose. Rolando Bedoya and Elvis Brenner, dude. I don't hate either one of those for our prop of the week. Both plus money. Pretty solid place. So we'll move on to the second fight of the main event, which one of my favorite ones. And, let's go ahead and put it right here, man. Lupi Godinez. No,
Lupita.
Let's go, Lupi. Let's go,
Lupita.
Lupi. Yeah, dude. Here we go. Mackenzie Dern, 13-5 overall out of her last 5 fights. She has won 2 and lost 3. Win over Tisha Pennington, split decision. Lost to Yan Jianan, split decision. Win against Angela Hill when she came out with the fury. Then got absolutely demolished by Jessica Andrade and didn't look good against Amanda Lemos either, dude. On the other hand, Lupi Godinez, 12-4 overall. Win over Cynthia Calvillo. Decision win over Emily Ducote. Submission win over Elise Reed, as she should have. Tabitha Ricci, split decision win. Won me the pick champ that week. And Verna Jandiroba, decision loss. Watched that in Atlantic City, and I personally thought she won, but that's just me. We might have another option here if we're both on the same one. D-Rose, currently odds for this fight, -122 for Mackenzie Dern, +102 for Lupi Godinez. Closing in a little bit, D-Rose. Kind of a coin flip fight, but it makes sense. Mackenzie Dern, or the over-under on this fight, 2.5. Over 2.5, -250. Under 2.5, +190. Mackenzie Dern, 31 years old, 5'4", 63-inch reach, while Lupi Godinez, 30 years old, 5'2", and a 61-inch reach. So Mackenzie Dern going to be about 2 inches taller, going to have about 2-inch reaches, but that don't matter because if this fight's on the feet, dude, I think Mackenzie just gets boxed up all 3 rounds. And personally, dude, yeah, dude, how this is the floor is lava. The floor is lava for Lupi Godinez. Do not go to the floor this fight, man. In her last 2 fights, you have the game plan laid in front of you how to beat Mackenzie Dern. You have better hands than Mackenzie Dern. You're the better wrestler than Mackenzie Dern. You can stop any takedown that she's going to throw at you. You are the better wrestler. So, dude, give me Lupi to sprawl and brawl. Give me Lupi Godinez via decision, dude. 30-27. Going to box up Mackenzie Dern all 3 rounds here. Let's go, Lupi. But as you see, I am her #1 fan, so I'm pretty biased. But I'm a big Mackenzie Dern fan too. But I'm usually hard on Mackenzie Dern, like, nah, she's gonna get the sub. Not this one, dude. But it's because look at the last fight. Verna didn't sub Lupi, dude. And Verna's got much better wrestling to get the fight down to the ground. I think Mackenzie's got better. She's got slicker, but it's like she just sells for it all the time. So yeah, dude, if Loopy's able to stay safe against Verna and have a close fight, she should easily beat Mackenzie. But we'll see, man. Give me the dog again, dude. Again, give me the dog, Loopy Godinez. Which way are you going here, man?
Man. Yeah, but it's a really close fight. So I mean, dog.
Dude,
I mean,
I have her bet at plus 110 already, so the odds are closing in, dude.
Oh man,
because like I have her bet at plus 110 and at plus 105, so it's like they're closing in a little bit. Now it's plus 102.
Yeah, I definitely think this is definitely one of the tougher fights to call, and for me, I mean, Loopy is the more powerful striker, I would say. I mean, we saw how Mackenzie looked in the Angel Hill fight, dude. Her striking was absolutely tremendous in that fight. So I don't want to say necessarily that Loopy is the overall better striker. I think she's the better. I think Loopy's the better offensive wrestler than Mackenzie Dern for sure. But we already know who has the more dangerous jiu-jitsu. And if you ask me, I do think that Mackenzie Dern does have a higher level of competition. And Loopy sometimes to me in some of these fights, man, she just ends up making decisions to where, you know, she ends up taking down Verna when she's winning the striking exchanges, ends up putting herself in bad positions and scrambles.
Whole round.
Yeah, I mean, she's going for a lot of bad stuff, and she just makes like bad fight IQ decisions. And I remember when she fought Angela Hill, and you know, she kept it striking with Angela Hill when she probably should have taken it down, and Angela Hill pretty much outstruck her for most of the fight. So I mean, if we have that type of Loopy coming in, Mackenzie Dern's back against the wall. We got divorced Dern out here trying to get this money. I know Antonio Tricoli is her new man and everything, but that dude is not.
She's in love now, dude.
Yeah, but no, but she needs the divorce money. Like, you know what I mean? Paying out all this divorce and stuff like that. Yeah. Divorce Dern is out here to try to get this bread, and she's out here motivated. 2 losses in a row, back against the wall. Dern needs a win. I think she ends up getting it done. I think Mackenzie Dern by decision here.
All right, we are split again. Loopy for me and Dern for D Rose. So, we'll move on to the next fight, D Rose. What are we doing here? We have El Kukui, Tony Ferguson, taking on the Maverick, Michael Chiesa, dude. Look at all those L's. Dude. BJ Penn, maybe?
Stop.
BJ Penn, dude. And this ain't even there's 2 more that aren't even showing on here, dude. What are we doing, dude? 25 and 10. Dude, he was 25 and 3, dude, and then has just lost 7 straight fights, dude. What are we doing? But I mean, I'm not gonna pretend like I've been the biggest Tony Ferguson fan. I can remember back to about 2017. I'm sitting in my apartment. Me and you would occasionally chat about fucking fights. And dude, I remember you being the biggest Tony fan. You're like, dude, he's gonna beat Khabib. I'm like, dude, there is 0 chance he's beating Khabib. You're like, yes, he is. I'm like, not a shot on earth. Dude, we never even got the fight to see what happened. But I remember those days, man. I remember those days. Not looking good for El Kukui at this point. But the Maverick, Michael Chiesa, is 16-7 overall, and you know his record hasn't looked too good either, because his last win is against Neil Magny over 3 years ago. So he's on a 3-fight losing streak, hasn't won in 3 years, lost to Vicente Luque, lost to Sean Brady, and lost to Kevin Holland 11 months ago. He's just on the desk now, dude. I don't understand these fucking odds. Currently, dude, plus 455 for Tony Ferguson, minus 625 for the Maverick, Michael Chiesa. The over-under is set at 2.5 here. Over 2.5, minus 125. The under 2.5, minus 105. Tony's 40 years old, 5'11", 76.5-inch reach, while Michael Chiesa is 36 years old, 6'1", and a 75.5-inch reach. D-Rose, One thing to note, did you know this fight was originally scheduled for 155 pounds, but it was moved to 170 pounds? I think on the
Yeah, I would have
request,
to imagine that
Tony,
Michael Chiesa, I mean, he hasn't been able to make
it,
155 for a
dude,
long
it
time
was
now.
it was moved on the request of Tony Ferguson that it be 170. That's what I heard. So I guess we'll see, man. I guess we'll see. So these odds are just fucking off, dude. I mean, let's look at it like this, dude. I mean, I want no parts of betting on this fucking fight. If so, maybe the under 2.5 at minus 105. I would take a shot at that, I guess. But dude, at plus 455, the bookies are basically saying Tony Ferguson has no shot to win this fight. Mike Chiesa minus 625, the favorite. It's like who is this? Bo Nickel versus like a person? like what's happening, dude? And the fucked up part about this whole shit is like, dude, out of Tony Ferguson's last 7 fights, dude, they would all beat Michael Chiesa. Every single one of them would beat Michael Chiesa. Maybe not Nate Diaz, but probably he would probably beat him too. Like, so it's just like, dude, if there's any fight for Tony Ferguson to win, dude, it would be this one, dude. Do we see the return of the Darce Knight? That's how Mike Chiesa loses, is via Darce. Tony Ferguson, the Darce Knight. Give me Tony Ferguson. Ankle pick, Darce choke as the dog. El Kukui gets a win, rides off into the sunset, baby. El Kukui. And oddly enough, just to show you guys, I'm not a fucking Michael Chiesa hater, by the way. Been one of my favorite fighters for the longest. Look at him on Tough right here. I got an autograph picture of him on Tough when he like fucking won Tough. That was like back in the day when I was really into it. Actually, fucking got that. And yeah, so I'm actually quite a big Mike the Maverick Chiesa fan. I just think at this point, dude, it's the lines are overblown. Mike Chiesa ain't what he used to be. He ain't beating Neil Magny nowadays. Dude, Neil Magny would smoke Mike Chiesa now. It's not even close, dude. So it's just like, dude, give me the dog, Tony. Let's go, Tony. The Darce Knight one more time, dude. Which way are you going here?
I love the spirit. Yeah, you know Tony's my guy. I'd love to see him be able to get off.
I ain't betting on this fight though. Fuck that shit.
Oh no, the only thing I would potentially do is I would bet Tony. I will say I shamefully did put Michael Chiesa in a parlay earlier in the week.
Good luck,
but I got him. Dude, I got him.
You are brave.
Dude, I got him at minus 400. He was like minus 420. And he is all the way up to like minus 700 now. Like, that is absolutely nuts how much that line has moved since just earlier in the week. I believe it was Sunday or Monday when I got that line. But yeah, man, I think the only thing that is going to suck for Tony is that his defensive wrestling just has not held up the way that I thought it would. Is he super durable? Yes. Is he always going to fight against a submission? Yes. But he just ends up putting himself in bad positions time and time again. And there's a lot of times when he gets put on his back, Tony, he tends to kind of get content with those positions, throwing elbows, trying to throw up kicks and stuff like that. Not really having a sense of urgency to get up, even if you go over his last few fights. And I think Michael Chiesa pretty much, he has a path to victory, man. He's not a great striker. He's not going to go in there looking to get into a kickboxing match with Tony. He's going to go in there and look for the takedown. And I think he's going to go in there. He's going to be the naturally bigger guy. Tony's going to be going in there a little bit more flabby, while I think Chiesa is going to be pretty bricked up at 170 because he's used to making that weight class. And, yeah, I think you're going to see Michael Chiesa use his wrestling control for 3 rounds, man. I don't think it's going to be a fun fight. A lot of people are going to be upset to see Tony lose again, man, and myself included. But yeah, man, I'm going to sadly pick Michael Chiesa by decision here.
Upsetting, man. Upsetting. And fun fact, Heroes, that's the first fighter that we've picked different on that hasn't started with a D. D Rose has picked Dumas, Dudakova, and Dern. That is your first Michael Chiesa different pick that we have. Like I was like, what is happening here? What is happening with he just picks everyone's
I was
name.
feeling I was saying I just just a little bit of relation there. The D names. Hey, we got to represent. We got to hold each other down here.
Yeah, I got you. All right, let's move on. Featured fight of the night, D-Rose. We've got Marlon Chito Vera taking on Dustaguera Davidson Figueroa, dude. Chito 23-9-1 overall. Decision win over Rob Font 2 years ago. Head kick Dominic Cruz a year and 11 months. Corey Sandhagen split decision loss. Pedro Munoz decision win, and absolutely demolished by Sean O'Malley, dude. The easiest fight to score in maybe UFC history, dude. This is like, what are we doing? Just, dude, I'm glad it happened, but man, Dustaguera, on the other hand, 23-3-1 overall. The God of War is 3 wins and 2 losses in his last 5 fights. Lost to Brandon Moreno rear naked choke. Win against Brandon Moreno. Lost to Brandon Moreno knockout. And Rob Font decision win, his first fight up at 135. And second fight was against Cody Garbrandt. Finished him via rear naked choke. Currently odds for this fight, D-Rose, plus 120 for Chito, minus 142 for Dustaguera Davidson Figueroa. Over under 2.5, minus 298 for over, and under plus 220. Chito, 31 years old, 5'8", 70.5-inch reach, while Davidson Figueroa, 36 years old, 5'5", and 68.0 inch reach. So 68-inch reach. Yeah, D-Rose, I think this is where we see some resistance about Davidson moving up to the 135-pound division, dude. Because he's fought 2 people that, they're good, but I wouldn't even consider Cody to be good, to be honest. He's kind of washed at this point. Rob Font's good, but he gets hurt a lot, and Davidson just kind of hurt him up just over and over, dude. He got outstruck in that fight, but he hurt Rob Font and won via decision. And the Cody Garbrandt fight, I really don't look too much into because just it's Cody. Yeah, dude. I like Chito as a fighter. Yeah, and let's see if I have do I have the picture in here of me and Chito, dude? Do I have it? I do have it, dude. Give me, dude, look how fried Chito is. Dude, he can his eyes look like D-Rose's eyes when I thought he was falling asleep on me a few minutes ago. Yeah.
Nah, his is way worse, even though he has more influence.
Yeah, give me Marlon Chito Vera, 3 or decision, dude, because I'm not sure Davidson Figueroa can go 3 hard rounds up at 135 with a person like Marlon Chito Vera standing across from him. So give me Chito via decision. Which way you going here, man? As the dog, once again.
Yeah, this is a tough fight to call as well, but I think this should be a fun fight. I think the big thing, Figgy has looked impressive coming up to 135 so far. I'm pretty sure I picked against him in both of his fights, and yeah, I can't remember for the Rob Font fight. I might have picked Figgy against Rob Font, but I know I picked Cody.
Picked Rob Font. Yeah, I for sure picked Rob Font. Then I picked Figgy.
I know I picked Cody because I actually bet on Cody too for that fight, and unfortunately had a little egg in my face there. But he actually went there and dominated Cody. I think the big thing, I think these 2 fighters are they're more similar to what people think, and I think going back to both of their Rob Font fights, both of them were getting outstruck by Rob Font, but both of them were able to land big punches, big kicks, whatever it was to hurt Rob Font and change the momentum of the fight. I think the big thing for me is that there's a lot of times when Chito goes in there and we're almost kind of raising our arms like, dude, what are you doing? Like, do you want to fight or
do
not?
something?
Like, something. Like, dude, we know that Figgy, that's one thing that I do not have to question him on. Like, dude, every time Figgy goes out there and fights, like I get nervous because I'm like, dude, he is going out there with the intention to really hurt somebody. Like Figgy is going out there to hurt somebody every time. Cheeto has that capability. Just comes down to the motivation and where he's at. And I think that with Figgy's wrestling in his last fight against Cody, who is also a good defensive wrestler, and we see where Cheeto has been able to be exposed in the wrestling game as well. I think you start to see a little bit of that from Figgy as the fight maybe swells late. I think you're going to see some big punches from Figgy landed early on, and I think he thinks he's going to be able to hurt Cheeto Vera. He's not going to be able to, so I think you're going to start seeing a little bit more wrestling from Figgy as the fight goes, and I think Figgy ends up winning a decision here. So let's go. Let's go Figgy here. The D's nuts parlay, baby.
All right, Cheeto, Figgy. All right, we are split again. We got 5 now, D-Rose. And we should have some different ones to pick on. So let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. That is Sharp Bullet Magomedov taking on Lord or Hussar Mikhail Oshaychuk. Sharp Bullet 13-0 win over Antonio Tricoli. Knockout. Bruno Silva decision win. Before that, it don't matter. This outstanding citizen is just like Cedricos Dumas, man. Like, just an outstanding citizen. Doesn't beat up people outside of malls and stomp on their heads on concrete for no reason or anything like that. I don't know why anyone would do something like that. This guy surely didn't do something like that. Anyway, Lord Mikhail Oshaychuk, 19-8-0. Yeah, not looking good. Cody Brundage knockout win, which he should. Caio Bahayo submission loss. And this is where it kind of goes downhill. He does have a Chidi Njokuani knockout win there, but he lost to Michel Pereira in 10 seconds. And then just got the same thing that Bobby Green got happened to him, happened to not tech. Yeah, you know. Dude, I would have thought Mikhail Oshaychuk's arm is broken, dude. With that shit a month ago, dude, the way Kevin Holland was twisting that shit and the way he hipped in, like fucking into it, he's like, hey, I'm going to break this shit if he don't tap. And then he didn't tap, so he hipped into it and twisted it, and the refs stopped it because he was like, hey, this is going to break. There's no way his arm doesn't still hurt from a month ago, dude. Zero chance. Zero chance his arm don't still hurt. Anyway, odds for this fight, minus 238 for Sharp Bullet, plus 195 for Mikhail Oshaychuk. Over under on this is 1.5 D-Rose, minus 140 for the over, and plus 110 for the under. I like the under here, to be honest. But yeah, Sharp Bullet, 30 years old, 6'2", 73-inch reach. Mikhail Oshaychuk, 29 years old, 6 foot, and a 74-inch reach. So, with that being said, let's talk about this. Yeah, dude, Mikhail Oshaychuk round 1 is, dude, you saw it in the fucking Kevin Holland fight. It's like he's coming out there and he's fucking throwing heat. He's a pretty solid boxer and he's got that Polish power. He don't forget it in the hotel room. He brings that shit, dude. So early in this week, dude, I was like, dude, I don't mind Mikhail here. And then I saw this. Did you see this, D-Rose? It says, I'll read it for you. A fan is asking him, will you think about KSW when you lose a fight? You know, kind of translated like, if you lose, will you go back to KSW? And Mikhail Oshaychuk says, if I lose the fight, and it will probably happen, I'm done with sports. So, yeah, I mean, the confidence this week for Mikhail Oshaychuk just through the fucking roof, dude. I mean, what are we doing here? Not the best look. So, once again, I don't mind the under here because I think Mikhail I think the only way he ever wins is round 1 knockout. He might have a round 2 knockout in there somewhere, but round 1 knockout is the only way that he wins. So, yeah, dude, just got a bad ground game. So this might even be the fight that Sharp Bullet's like, dude, this dude's got no ground game. Let me fucking take this dude down and get my first submission here. Yeah, dude, even the advantages for Mikhail are just so apparent, dude. It's like he's the pressure fighter. He's the one trying to close the distance, not create like the distance. I believe he's the younger guy, dude. He's got the longer reach. And he's got both of his eyes, man. Like there's so many advantages for Mikhail Oleksiejczuk here, aside from him just having no confidence in himself, dude. So yeah, give me the under here. Give me Sharabullet Magomedov early round 2 knockout, dude. Which way going here?
Yeah, I won't even. I was going to say I won't even prolong it. Yeah, Michelle Oleksiejczuk. It feels like to me this is one of those ones.
That was your
where
guy,
he's
man.
almost-
That was your guy.
Yeah, no, he still is because I love his fight style. I mean, he goes out there and he absolutely goes for it. But especially showing me what you would show me. To me, it almost sounds like he's just trying to find out his UFC contract, and maybe he's just trying to bounce. I don't know, almost kind of like I think we were kind of talking about it, maybe the Muhammad Makayev Askarov type route where he's just trying to hurry up and just end his contract so he could just get out of the UFC. I don't know, just really weird vibes coming from him, man. I think he definitely has ability, man, good boxing, and he has pretty decent offensive wrestling. And his offensive wrestling is what he would need in order to stand against Shar here. Because if he keeps it standing, I mean, we see how dangerous Shar is. Now, the only thing I am curious to see too is, hey, Shar just fought on June 22nd. So it's not to say that, oh man, this is guaranteed. Dude, he literally just fought a month ago. Like, I know Oleksiejczuk just fought a month and a half ago. But
Oleksiejczuk got his arm broken a month ago.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is for like Shar to be as big of a favorite as he is, dude, he just fought like literally brought in a month ago as well. So I don't know how well his gassing is going to be. But as you said, Oleksiejczuk just got his arm snapped not too long ago either. But
he's gonna walk to the octagon with the sling on. He's gonna be like, take this shit off.
Yeah,
take his arm out of the sling, and then he's gonna go.
The cut man's gonna be sitting there putting. Dude, the cut man's gonna put Vaseline on his his arm slip while he gets ready to go into the octagon, dude. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, I think Sharabullet ends up getting the job done, and I think it ends up being a decision. Let's say that. Let's say decision or a late stoppage, because I don't think Shar is going to end up knocking out Oleksiejczuk, and I think that's the only way he really has to finish Oleksiejczuk. So let's go Shar by decision, and what would be a fun fight.
Yeah, it's the body kicks for me. The soft body of Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. He's been hurt there multiple times. Body kick, Sharabullet. I think he ends him with a body kick, early second round. That's me. Me and D-Rose both on Sharabullet. Magomedov, though. So let's go to the main event of the evening, where we have the Sandman, Corey Sandhagen, taking on Umar Nurmagomedov. Corey Sandhagen 17-4-0 overall, while Umar Nurmagomedov 17-0. 0 losses ever. Yeah, Corey Sandhagen, split decision out of his last 5 fights. Split decision, lost to TJ Dillashaw. Thought he won that fight. Unanimous decision loss to Petr Yan. So two former champions knocked out Song Yadong, Dr. Stoppage cut. Split decision win over Chito Vera, and a terrible decision win over Rob Font that I was forced to watch in Nashville because I was promised this current fight, Dana White, and I'm not getting it because it's in Abu Dhabi. On the other hand, Umar Nurmagomedov, Beksat Almakhan decision win. Dude, he got hurt in that fight though. Ronnie Barcelos early knockout with a hook in the knee at the same time. Nate Maness decision win. Brian Kelleher don't really matter, and Sergey Morodu. So it's like no one's given Umar the chance to prove how good he is because he's fighting these pretty much bums for the most part. His best fight is probably against Ronnie Barcelos, and he's already older at that point, dude. So yeah, dude, this is an odd fight. Currently odds for this fight plus 260. Corey Sandhagen, Umar Nurmagomedov minus 325. Over under 4.5. So odds makers thinking this one going to decision. Over minus 145. Under plus 114. Corey Sandhagen, 32 years old, 5'11", 70-inch reach, while Umar is 28 years old, 5'8", and a 69-inch reach. Yeah, D-Rose, give me Umar to win this fight via submission. I'm going to leave it at that. Corey Sandhagen's good. Probably not going to have this in a whole bunch of bets, to be honest. I do like Corey Sandhagen, but he does have a few holes in his game. And he's a good offensive wrestler, but he's not the best defensive wrestler. Rob Font was able to take him down, dude. And it's like, yeah, I know he tore his tricep in that fight a year ago. And you're going to come back and fight Umar Nurmagomedov, dude. It's just like, and I think that he thinks that his wrestling is way better than what it is. And he's going to find out on Saturday that it's not, dude. And we're going to see Umar take him down with ease and get the submission. So give me Umar via submission. I mean, he's a huge favorite, minus 325. I don't hate it if you want to take the shot on Corey, though, because Umar, as I said, dude, he's unproven. None of these guys are really giving him a shot to prove himself. So shout out Corey Sandhagen for giving this kid a chance to prove himself. And, dude, whoever wins this fight's probably going to be next after Merab for the title, dude. So, yeah, unless Davison Figueroa goes up there and, like, knocks out Chito Vera, then one of these two fighters should be next for the title. But, yeah, dude, give me Umar via submission. Which way are you going here, man? You're muted.
This one's a good fight here. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think Umar, as you said, just hasn't had the opportunity to really prove himself just yet. Whereas Corey Sandhagen, who has fought the best of the best, man, the dude is just an absolute the dude could put on a striking clinic when he wants. His offensive wrestling has gotten even better. Now his submission game isn't quite there just yet, but he's starting to. You can see over his last few fights, Corey Sandhagen, where he's starting to really put all the tools together. Where I do think that Umar is a little bit more well-rounded already with the striking and the wrestling. But what a lot of people don't realize is that Umar does like to keep the fight on the feet. Like, he will take the fight down to the ground when necessary.
Nasty kicks.
Yeah, he's got good kicks, man, and he likes to keep it on the feet. He's a little bit more willing to try to fill the fight on the feet and kind of see how things go. What I'm curious to see is if he's really able to kind of chase Corey Sandhagen down for the takedowns. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling the dog, man. I think I'm going to go Corey here, and I'm going to go Corey just because of the higher level competition. And I think that if Umar goes in there and tries to get into a little striking fest with Corey, I think Corey can make it really difficult for him with the footwork, with the quick, slick striking that he's got, and just the different versatilities and setups. And I think he's been working on his wrestling, for really, you could say he's been preparing for this Umar matchup for the last year and some change, last year and a half or so. You could say that he's been prepared for this Umar matchup. So I think you give somebody like Corey Sandhagen even that much more time to kind of prepare for a certain opponent. I think that's only going to give him a leg up. So I want to go Corey Sandhagen for the upset.
Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. So that is it for the picks for me and D Rose. We have 6 different picks on this card, D Rose. So it went from 2 early on to 6 all of a sudden. So man, it's going to be a good afternoon of fights here on the East Coast. Let's see. Umar by TKO is plus 700, says Omar. Not the worst. I don't know. I think it's by sub or decision personally, but hey, it wouldn't be the first time I've been wrong, and it for sure won't be the last time that I am wrong. D-Rose. So, with that being said, let's get into pick champs for this week. So, once again, your choices for this week are Dennis Talulin, Cedric Dumas, where I have Dennis Talulin. You have Cedric Dumas. Our second different fight is Sam Hughes versus Victoria Dudikova, where I have Sam Page and you have Victoria Dudikova. Third different fight is Lupi Godinez versus Mackenzie Dern. I've got Lupi, you've got Mackenzie Dern. Fourth fight, fuck my life. I've got Tony Ferguson and you've got Michael Chiesa. Why did I do that? I was hoping you'd pick Tony there too, but that's going to ruin me. Anyway, fifth different fight is Cheeto versus Figgy. I've got Cheeto and you've got Figgy. And the last one is Umar and Corey. So, yeah, man, feel free. I got the pick champ over here, so you get to pick the fights for this week, my guy. So, what 3 will be for the pick champ?
Yeah, I think we'll go Dudikova, Sam Page. So
Nice.
we'll keep that one on. Let's go Loopy and Mackenzie Dern.
Okay.
And I'm not going to do you like that. I don't want to go against Tony that vividly. So let's do Cheeto and Figgy for the third one there.
Okay.
All pretty,
cool.
all still. While there's a couple of dogs in there for you. All still pretty relatively.
Yeah,
close fights.
I got a big dog, or not a big dog, about a plus 140 dog, an even money fight, and then you actually got the biggest dog in Corey at plus 260. But I mean,
oh no, I said Figgy and Cheeto, not Corey and Umar. No. I like you trying to speak that up there, but no. We're going the co-main event. We're not going the main event for the big champ. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm confident, dude. I'm about to clean sweep D-Rose. Do you have one that you would like to throw in case the staff hold does not make it, or anything else? Just in case.
I guess Cedricos and Dennis Talulin, but
okay.
Again, I'm not confident on that either. I guess, but that's why it's the backup and not. That's why it's the backup and not in the main.
All right, D-Rose. The podcast on for 2 hours now. I'm not going to try to keep you on too much longer, dude. We have a couple options for this week. Podcast play of the week, plus or minus 100. Last week, it was Patty the Baddie Pimblett. Well, wrong one. Patty the Baddie Pimblett. I put $10 on it to win 1962. So this week I'm going to put that 1962 or $20. Try to double it up to about the $40 or something like that. D-Rose, I think our options were Rolando Bedoya at plus 120 or Elvis Brenner plus 164.
I think I like the Rolando Bedoya because I do think that I think it's a safer play because Jai Herbert's known. He's got good takedown defense, but when he gets taken down, he typically doesn't get back up.
And Joel Alvarez is huge, could lock up a sub first round like he always does, and we're like, fuck. So our plus 100 play of the week is going to be Rolando Bedoya moneyline, which is actually right now on DraftKings. Rolando Bedoya moneyline is plus 120. I'm not sure what it is on FanDuel. Probably a little bit better because
FanDuel's plus 126 right now. Rolando Bedoya
they usually got a little bit better odds. So that's where I'll be putting my my bet in. So I'm gonna put $20 for Rolando Bedoya. For the plus 100 play of the week, and hopefully we cash it second week in a row here on the channel. So with that being said, I will be back here Friday with Change the Cheddar. I'm gonna bring you guys a couple parlays, my best bets, final reads, post weigh in, all that good shit. With that being said, D-Rose, anything before we get out of here, my guy? I'm sure you're tired, dude.
No, man, we are good to go. I'm actually just being nosy and trying to see if they've released any props yet, but some of the props are being released.
I got all the way down to Joel Alvarez, Elvis Brenner on DraftKings. So if you want to know something, I could probably tell you. Like it'll give you about close what the odds are going to be. But
FanDuel has the same Joel Alvarez and then up on the main card.
Okay.
Released, but any under are not out yet.
Then right after this podcast, I'm going to go bet Rolando Bedoya moneyline straight bet, and then I'm going to go put a straight bet on Elvis Brenner KO 2 or 3. What's that? The Elvis Brenner KO 2 or 3?
Elvis Brenner KO 2 or 3? That is a good that is a good potential bet that you're looking at there, and you can get that at plus 1,300. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I'm gonna go put 10 on that right now. And put 20 on Rolando Bedoya. So those are two bets I want to make right after the podcast tonight. So with that being said, I'm gonna go to that before the odds get fucked up. And hopefully we can win this. So won this past weekend. Hopefully keep it rolling. Win this weekend. But once again, after winning this past weekend, my confidence I feel like is just shot. Now I'm like, they're gonna win, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, I I don't know. This is a harder betting fight than I think last weekend. I had stronger reads last weekend than I have this weekend, but I am on a lot of dogs this weekend, so kind of just hoping for the best. But good luck to everyone betting on the fights this weekend. If you don't make it to Change of Cheddar Friday, good luck. Don't be betting more money than you can afford to lose, because at the end of the day, it's a fist fight and anything can happen. But with that being said, me and D Rose will catch you right back here next Wednesday to talk about, the recap from this past weekend and look forward to the upcoming weekend that I have no idea what it is. What is it, D Rose? What's after?
What's that?
What's
after this weekend.
It'll be okay. Yeah, it's okay. We can talk about Marcin Tybura versus Sergey Spivak on a different time. But we appreciate you guys for stopping by and hanging out with us.
Yeah. Let's go.
Hanging out with us here tonight. Peace, pot, micro, dot. See you later, Day Fisher Days. We'll catch you guys. I will catch you guys Friday for Change of Cheddar. D-Rose, more than welcome to join me as always. With that being said, thank each and every single one of you for taking the time to stop by right over here on the Golden Octagon tonight. Spend some time, hang out with us over here, get our last minute picks. But with that being said, we will catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace.